Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Montefusco and I am a lover of all types of makeup. I love mainstream brands, indie brands, I love colorful eyeshadow, I love neutral eyeshadow, I love sparkles, multi-chromes, duochromes, I love everything when it comes to makeup. So if that's something you're interested in, you are in the right place. Today, I'm going to be testing out A.L.I.E.N cosmetics for the first time. They're a brand that's intrigued me for a while because they have really cool color stories and their palette art is just beautiful, but it's not something I've ever tried. So I recently made an order from A.L.I.E.N Cosmetics with two different palettes, and this is one of them. So this is their Holiday 2020 palette, and this palette is just full of blues and reds, and I thought it was really interesting and it was something I wanted to try. So if you would like to see how I got this eye look, if you'd like to see my first impressions of this palette in A.L.I.E.N Cosmetics' formula, and if you would like to see some swatches of this palette, you should definitely keep on watching this video. So today I'm going to be trying A.L.I.E.N Cosmetics for the first time, and this is their holiday palette. I don't believe it has another name to it, but really I was attracted to this palette because of these colors. I mean, look at these colors. We have blues and reds. I just think it's absolutely stunning. And I was always really curious about the A.L.I.E.N Cosmetics formula, so when I saw this palette come out, I was like, gotta try it. So my eyelids are primed. I am ready to go into some mattes and some shimmers and put them on my lids and test it out and give you all a first impression. So I think first I'm going to go into this blue matte on top. I wish these had shade names, but they don't, so oh well. I'm gonna go into that shade with the Refer number 15 and just put that and fluff that all in my crease. The shade definitely needs some building up. I'm not really used to working with mattes like this anymore, so it's taking a lot of work to build it up in the crease. I'm also finding that tapping off my brush to get the excess off is not the way to use at least this matte, because not much really picks up on the brush, and it's not a very powdery formula. It seems like it's a lot harder pressed than what I'm used to as well. Yeah, this is kind of patchy. It's only really grabbing onto certain areas of my crease and not others, which I'm not really liking. So far, not really a fan of this shade, this blue shade in particular. I guess that's as good as it's gonna get because it just doesn't really blend that much. Next, I want to go into this other blue. It's more like a medium blue shade, and I want to take this shade on a smaller crease brush to use my Refer number 13, and again, just do some detail work in the crease, and hopefully that's gonna hide some of the patchiness that other blue shade was giving me. This one seems a bit more powdery and like it picked up more on the brush, so hopefully it works better. This shade is better. I can already tell it's better. It has more pigment off the bat. It just seems to be blending better. I definitely like that blue better. So I think I'm gonna go back into my Refer number 15 again with that lighter blue shade on the top of the palette. Just go into there and again, like just try to blend out that darker blue that I just put in my crease. Hopefully, maybe this will work better as like a blending shade. A lot better. So I think the optimal use for that first shade that I went in with is more as a blending shade. So go into like a more pigmented blue, put that in your crease, and take that shade, which is a little less pigmented, and use that to blend out the edges. But I think this is turning out pretty good so far. So next, going in with my Refer number 1 brush, I'm going to use this shade on the bottom corner for my outer corner of my eye. Let's go back into my Rephr number 15 to blend. I'm not sure if I really like how this is blending. It seems kind of patchy. So I'm gonna go back into that darker shade and just try to make sure my outer corner isn't patchy. Okay, that doesn't look terrible. I'm not mad at it. So next I'm gonna go into my Too Faced glitter glue, and I'm gonna put that on the parts of my eye that currently do not have any eyeshadow on them, and I'm going to take that, blend it out into a little bit before I put that darker shade, and then we're gonna go in with some metallics. Okay, glitter glue is on the eyes and I'm ready for some metallic. So I think first I'm going to go into this shade right here. It's like a dark blue to like purple duochrome, and I'm gonna take that and put that on the first part of my lid, which is more towards where we put that outer corner shade. These are definitely more of a finely milled metallic. They're not, it doesn't seem like it's very chunky. It just seems like it just provides nice duochrome sparkle with like very, very fine pieces of like glitter and sparkle. I'm not mad at that. Okay, maybe the metallics will redeem my experience with those mattes. I like how that looks. That looks really nice. So on the inner part of my lid, more towards my outer corner, I'm going to go into the shade below that one. This one looks more like a brown to purple to blue sort of duochrome, so I thought that'd be really pretty in that part of the lid. This one definitely feels more wet to the touch than the one I just picked up. Wow, that one's really pretty. I don't know if you see that. Just like look at that shade. Look at that shift. Look at that metallic. I really like that, and it feels really nice on the finger. So let's see how it applies on the lid. That is definitely my kind of shade. I think it's more of a topper shade versus like a pigmented metallic. I'm not sure if this has much base pigment to it, but I do really like it on the eyes. I mean, that just gives you a lot of shine. Let's put it over that darker shade I applied to, just to give that one some more oomph. I think this is really operating like a topper. Oh yeah, look at that. I really like that. Okay, maybe this will be redeemed by the metallics. And now I'm going to go into some other mattes in the palette to do my lower lash line. So I'm going to take my Real Techniques, what number brush is this? Ooh, I cannot see that. It says shading brush. So Real Techniques shading brush, whatever number this is. And I'm going to go into this dark red satin, like right here. And I'm gonna take this brush and put that underneath the eye. Yeah, this is definitely a satin. This is not a matte, which I'm okay with a good satin as long as it performs. Oh wow, this looks more purple than red. Look at that. It's like purple. Now I want to take this Real Techniques brush. This is the 305, and I'm going to take that lighter red over here, and I'm just going to use that to blend out the lower lash line. That is a very dramatic lower lash line. I don't know if I meant to go that intense, but I'm not mad at it. For the inner corner, I think I'm gonna go into this metallic like looking white silvery shade, and I'm gonna put that in my inner corner. It does not appear like you think it would. I think this is like a white to green duochrome. That's cool. I'm not mad at that at all. That inner corner shade is definitely a drier metallic than that topper shade that we put all over the lid. But here is the look with all the eyeshadows. I'm going to go off camera to apply eyeliner, mascara, lipstick, all that fun stuff, and I'll be back to give you some thoughts about the palette. All right, this is the completed look. I really do like how it turned out, even though I had a little bit of a difficult time with the mattes. I think the metallics are really nice, even though I think there's a little bit of inconsistency in the formula. Some of them are a lot drier, some of them are a lot wetter, but I think on the lid and in the inner corner, they do look really, really nice. So this is the completed look. Next, we will move into swatches. So let's swatch the A.L.I.E.N Cosmetics Holiday Palette. So I'm gonna start with the first row and then move on to the second and then the third. That's how I'm going to structure this. So we're first gonna go into this shade. I wish these had shade names, but they don't. So we're first gonna go into this shade up top. This is like a red with a green duochrome. That is really interesting. I like that. Next, we're gonna move on to that blue matte right next to it. This is the one I had a lot of trouble with on my eyes. And just swatching this out, I can see why. It just doesn't really show up, even with like a hard pressed swatch. I mean, this is my third layer and I don't really have much. So I think that one's a dud. Let's move on to that silver right next to it. Ooh, this is one of those more like wet metallics in this palette. I really, really like that. Look at that. That one looks stunning. And last but not least for this row, let's move into that white to green duochrome that I used in my inner corner. This one's a drier formula, but it does swatch really well. So I'm not mad at that, and I like how it looked in my inner corner. So I like it. All right, let's move into the second row. So we're gonna go into this bright red matte. Ooh, yeah, I like how this swatches. This looks really nice. I am not mad at that at all. And next we're gonna go into this metallic like blue shade right next to it. This one's like a blue to purple duochrome. It's a little bit of green sparkle. I did use this on my lid. And I did like it, although I do prefer more of an intense metallic most of the time. Moving on to that next matte blue that I also used in my crease. I have a feeling this one's gonna swatch better. Yes, it does. This one definitely swatches a lot better. So glad to see that in the swatches too. And then we're gonna move on to this like satin burgundy purpley color that I use on my lower lash line. This one, you know, I might need to build up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. When you build it up, it looks nice. And moving on to the last row, let's use this like satin dark blue color. That picked up nicely on the finger and it swatches really well. Wow, okay, I'm impressed. Especially like with another coat. There you go, look at that swatch, that's nice. Let's move on to this topper shade that I used on my lid. This one is probably my favorite shade in the palette. Oh yeah, look at that. That is a beautiful, like almost translucent-y brown kind of base with like a purple and green shimmer to it. And I mean, just like look at it on my finger. Oh my God, I love this shade. I think this makes it worth, I feel like this shade just makes the palette worth it alone. So love that. Let's move on to like this burnt orange metallic next to it. Wow, that also swatches really nicely. I really like that. All right, and last but not least, let's move on to this dark greenish blue matte that I put in my outer corner. This one's pretty powdery, I must say, but it does swatch pretty well. And I did like it on my outer corner. I just thought it was a little bit patchy. So there you go, there's all of the shades of the palette swatched out. All right, everybody, I really hope you enjoyed this video with me trying out A.L.I.E.N Cosmetics for the first time with their holiday 2020 palette. If you liked this video, please like this video. If you like me, please subscribe. I'd be more than happy to have you watch my videos, be a part of this very small community that we currently have. And please, if you have any ideas for any videos that you would like to see me film, please let me know down in those comments down below. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for spending part of it with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!